Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first time doing any YouTube videos, but little backstory. I'm getting back into card collecting after a hiatus of, I don't know, about 20 years. I started collecting baseball cards in the early 90s, probably from 1990, 91 to 1999. And then I did a little bit in high school from 2000 to 2004, not much. And then I went to college, and then I didn't really do any collecting in college so basically from like 2004 to 2010 or so, 2011. And then I graduated from college in 2011 and had some friends that I made up in school that did a little collecting. It was mostly hockey at the time, so I did a little hockey in 2011, and then I did a little bit of baseball because that's what I had originally collected in 2011. And then I had to start paying student loans and didn't make enough money to really collect anything. So I really didn't collect anything from basically 2011, 2012 to basically about a month ago. And then, I don't know, all of a sudden I just decided I wanted to get back into collecting cards again, and I really miss it. And I went through all my cards in the basement and started organizing them because they were a pretty big mess. And I was pleasantly surprised to see what I had found. There were definitely some hidden gems, and I kind of went all out and reorganized everything, and even had like a label maker and labeled the boxes. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back into it. So here's a little introduction to what I have so far. This is in my closet in my office. Basically, I have my supplies on top here. Organized my top sets from basically mid-70s through about 2003. I'll have to buy some more boxes. These are not all full. Some of them are complete sets, some of them aren't. So like, actually I have the 2003 set here, and this is the one I just bought this last month. And so like 93 is complete, 94 is almost complete, 95 is almost complete, 99 is almost complete. I'm missing cards in 97, 98. A lot of the 80s are complete, basically from 82 to 1990 are all complete. Then I have like my autographs and relics. I didn't have a ton, but I'll go through those more in depth. And then baseball, like organized by players, rookie cards. These are all just miscellaneous full boxes. Football, rookie cards. Didn't collect a ton of football, but that's probably my only box of football I have. Like I said, I did collect a little bit of hockey, and still organizing some of them. And then there's a bunch of hockey cards down there, some other sports memorabilia, baseballs. In 1998, I collected a lot of Pinnacle inside the can, so they're can cards, which I thought were so cool at the time, but now they're probably worthless. Yeah, some wax boxes back there, bobblehead, more supplies. So yeah, this is just a introduction to what I have. I'll kind of go through more in detail to show you some of the cards that I actually picked out and found. All right, as you can see, I went through my collection. Um, it was a long process. It took like probably been 3 weeks or so, and I've been buying cards here and there since then. Um, but it was great to go through my collection and see. It really brought back a lot of memories, especially like from when I was like 6, 7, all the way to like 13 years old when I was really collecting. So I thought I'd go through some of the more important cards that maybe they're not actually worth anything, but and they are, some of them aren't, some of them are not worth anything, but they're worth something to me just because of the memories they kind of brought back. So first off, I'll start out with this pile here. So growing up, my favorite baseball players were first off David Justice. Not really sure why I picked him. He was I don't know, he was young and he was pretty good. He wasn't like a superstar by any means, but um, yeah, for some reason he was one of my favorite players. So one of the more important cards to me was this 1990 Fleer, which I think technically is his rookie card. It's not really worth anything, and as you can see, it's not in great shape. Most of my cards were not in great shape, especially from the early 90s. But I remember this card a lot when I was young. And then I really love this card too. I don't know why. I just really like the look of this card. Those 91 Upper Deck David Justice. I also really liked, and who didn't? I really loved Ken Griffey Jr. One of my favorite cards was this one here. It's the 92 Upper Deck. Him doing like it was like the 3 pictures and superimposed. And then this card I just thought was pretty cool. Just him blowing with his hat backwards, which was the cool thing to do back then. Yeah. And then a big bubble. And then my other favorite player, probably my top 5, was Frank Thomas. And then this card, I loved this card. I don't know why, but it was like the first set that my mom got me for like Christmas that I got to open up like a full hobby box. And it's in terrible shape. It's bent, the corners are terrible, the edges are terrible. But it was an insert card and it was a Frank Thomas, and I just love this card. Obviously not worth really anything, and it's in terrible shape, but loved it. And then this was my first. These next 2 cards I think actually came in the same package. There was in Sam's Club in the early 90s, they used to sell these like big flat packages of just random baseball cards. And the ones that I bought had Stadium Club and like, I don't know, just a bunch of random cards. But it just so happened that the one card, there's actually 2 autograph cards in this one package that my mom bought me, and it's probably like 7 or 8 years old. And this first one is actually a autographed Chipper Jones card. Also, not in great shape. Corners are not great. Edges aren't great, but it's not like I'm ever going to sell it. But I loved this card. And then there was also an Andres Galarraga numbered to 1986 because it was 1986 tops. Autograph card, also not in great shape. And you'll see a lot of these cards are not in great shape because I did not take care of them because I just didn't think of that when I was a kid. And then in the mid to late 90s, I remember my mom ended up buying me like it was on an auction, and it was 1992 Bowman, and she got it like the whole set basically minus a few cards for like $5 or something. And I actually kept these in relatively good shape, but there's I think this is Trevor Hoffman, might be his rookie card. Chipper Jones, not his rookie card, but still kind of an iconic Chipper Jones card. Pedro Martinez, I think that's his rookie card. Manny Ramirez, I think that's his rookie card. It's one of the more iconic Manny Ramirez cards. And Mariano Rivera. And these are actually all in pretty decent shape, because it was kind of in the late 90s and I kind of learned to take care of my cards by then. And then during that time, my mom and I we used to go to like flea markets and garage sales, and we ended up finding very vintage cards. And this next card is actually probably my favorite card in my collection. Not in good shape. It wasn't in good shape when I bought it, or when my mom bought it for me, which was probably in the mid to late 90s. And it was only like, there's like an old lady and she was selling them for like $1 a piece. But it's a 1962 Roberto Clemente. As you can see, the corners are very rounded and soft. And there's actually like a little crease here. But this is probably still probably my favorite card in the collection that I have, even though it's not in great shape. I was a huge Braves fan in the 90s, and this is a pretty cool card that we got. Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron. This was one of the first vintage cards I remember getting. It's nothing special, but it was the 1967 Topps Dodgers team card. And I actually kept that one in pretty decent shape, surprisingly. And then these next two were from that same like lady it was like a garage sale that we got for like $1. This one is in terrible shape, but I don't really care. I think that might be Luis Aparicio's rookie card. Not sure. As you can see, it's in terrible shape, but I don't know. Still a cool vintage card to have. There were actually a couple other ones, and they're in my box over here, but a couple other ones that were actually in pretty decent shape, like this Hoyt Wilhelm. These were larger cards. I think this was like the 56 Topps. And then moving on, I remember getting my first game used card, which I think was in 99 or 2000. This was my very first game used card, relic, whatever you want to call it now. It was Rafael Furcal. He was a good shortstop for the Braves for a while. And then this one I actually didn't know I had, and I ended up finding just recently in my box of cards. This was a Tom Brady rookie card. Unfortunately, not in great shape. The corners are not great. But I won't sell it. It's not like I was going to sell it. Just, I can say I have a Tom Brady rookie card. And then this one I also found. Ichiro. That's his rookie card. This one's actually in pretty good shape, but I remember taking care of this one because this was early 2000s. I was older. I understood that it's important to take care of the cards. So this was my first one of one. Fortunately, it's of a guy who is not important anymore. It's Eric Gagne. He was a pretty good closer for a while. It was an autographed 101. I think he ended up like getting in trouble for steroids too or something. I was a big fan of Doug Mankiewicz in high school. So this is actually game used, and this was actually autographed in person. Doug Mankiewicz card. And then I took a break. I didn't collect anything, like I said, for basically all my college years. Didn't have money to or anything anyway. So, but once I graduated, I had met some friends and they were into collecting hockey cards. So I ended up collecting a few hockey cards. I don't know. I probably have a couple thousand hockey cards. So I did end up collecting and getting some decent cards. This was Zach Parise, 3 3 relics, and Martin Brodeur and Patrick Elias. So I do have quite a few relics and some autograph cards of hockey. And then during that time, I also ended up buying a few boxes of Topps Chrome and some other baseball cards. So I was looking through those, and I ended up finding a Josh Donaldson autograph rookie card. And then this one was pretty cool. Chris Sale autograph rookie card. Another Chris Sale, not autograph, but rookie card. That was like 2011 Bowman Platinum. Same here, Freddie Freeman, not autograph, but rookie card. This is 2010 Chrome. Steven Strasburg, rookie card. This one is 2010 Chrome also. Mike Stanton, or Giancarlo Stanton as he's known now, rookie card. And then I didn't buy anything for years after that because I wasn't making enough money, didn't have a disposable income to buy anything. So I really didn't collect from like I said, from 2011, 2012 to basically now. I did buy a few cards here and there, and this was from 2015, I think. I bought a box of football cards, and this is a Billy Cannon autographed patch, 4 out of 5, which I thought was cool. He just passed away this last year. And then my mom occasionally bought me random cards here and there. So this is a few PSA. These are actually the few PSA cards I do have. This is a 1970 Topps Harmon Killebrew. It's only a 5, but I'm a Twins fan, so that's a fun one to have. 1975 Topps Mini Harmon Killebrew. That's an 8. And a 1976 Topps. This is just a Sporting News All-Stars, All-Time All-Stars card. That's an 8 of Babe Ruth. No, it's not, a true vintage Babe Ruth card, but it's still kind of a fun card to have. And I plan on collecting more, now that I have actually some disposable income, getting into collecting more PSA and getting into graded cards, and I'm pretty excited. I'm actually really excited. It's been fun this last month when I've been organizing. So here is, I just thought I'd show you. I actually started organizing my cards, my stars, I guess you could say, in here. So you can see I have like a lot of like 90s stars, not necessarily modern stars, but I do have spots for them, so I can eventually get some cards. I mean, I have some cards, but not like these are just ones I recently pulled. Like Clayton Kershaw back there, and Mike Trout. Barely have any cards of those, but I'm pretty excited for that. And then my personal player collection I'm going to be doing is Jose Barrios, and I kind of had bought some cards recently on eBay, and excited to start that collection too. You'll see some of those in some other videos, but if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Hoping to do more videos, and I'm pretty excited to get back into collecting. If you like this video, that'd be great if you gave it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. Thanks. Bye.